times Judge Lake gets crazy on paternity court.
He was texting me the whole time, baby, when are you coming home? What time are you gonna be here?
When I get done having sex with the person you told me to go have sex with. He doesn't even make any sense. Why do they keep trying to skip over the part I'm asking about? Now I know why, because this is where it got messy.
Sierra and Derek have appeared in court because she says her online love affair has turned into a nightmare for her because she got pregnant with a child after having a casual fling with him. But he refuses to accept the child as his saying someone else is the father. So, can this court solve this family's problem?
Me and Mr. Stone met on a dating site. I seen his profile, I thought he was kind of handsome, and obviously he thought I was cute as well because he messaged me back. So we had a few conversations, text messaging here, calling there, until one day we decided that we will meet up.
Sierra says they slept together after their first meeting on a dating site. They had some casual encounters afterwards as well. Derek says it was nothing serious. She says she soon got pregnant, and the doctor told her she was 1 month along. By that time, Derek was the only one who could be the possible father.
No, we did what we had to do, but I was single, she was single. She wasn't the only person I was with, I wasn't the only person she was with, just...
Was this the only night you all were intimate?
There were other
I think there was
nights.
another night.
There was another night, but this was the night where we had unprotected sex.
Derek says she never explicitly told him he was the father. Instead, when he called her to see if she wanted to hang out, she told him she was pregnant and couldn't drink or hang around. However, Sierra says she told him to keep in touch until the birth, but he moved to another state and deactivated his social media accounts.
He deactivated it because there was no way that I could get in touch with him.
So you couldn't get in touch with him?
No, ma'am.
So you're pregnant and you're trying to get in touch with him and you can't find him anywhere?
No, ma'am.
When she first told me that she was pregnant and she can't come kick it, I understand that, So I thought maybe it was the guy that she was messing with.
Derek says the reason he had so much doubt was that she referred to multiple other guys as being potential baby daddies. She also told her ex he could be the father. Sierra says she'd freshly broken up with her ex when she and Derek got together, which is why there was a slim chance he could be the dad too.
This is what happened. Prior to me meeting Mr. Stone, I had just broken up with the guy.
Right.
Which is my ex. When I found out that I was pregnant, I called both of them and I let them both know. I told him about my ex, but I didn't tell him about no third guy. I didn't tell him anything.
You told me you had a baby dad. You had a baby dad, but you had another dude that you were cool with.
As far as, I didn't tell him that, Your Honor.
Sierra got her ex tested, and he wasn't the father. So she turned to Derek. He then told her that she should move to Arizona to be near him. He had his family there and other resources that would help them raise their daughter. Sierra said she was a single mother and didn't have the resources to move to another state.
Your Honor, I just had a baby and I was pregnant with another one and didn't have the funds to sit here and go all the way to Tucson, Arizona. What I look like? He simply sat here and left after knowing that. Why not stick around the whole 9 months and wait to see if this child is yours instead of moving on to a whole nother state?
So why does Derek still have doubts? Turns out Sierra has backed out of a DNA test on 3 different occasions. The first 2 were court-ordered tests, and the third one was a home DNA kit, and Derek says she didn't show up for any of them, which is why he thinks she's hiding something.
So, here we are 4.5 years later after the situation has happened, and now we're in your courtroom instead of just getting this taken care of in the first place.
So you're saying there's been 3 solid attempts to get this done?
At least.
And 2 of the 3, she has backed out.
That's correct.
Which now furthers your doubt.
Yes.
Sierra says he has been backing out of the test for as long as she can remember. He doesn't pick up his calls or answer his texts, which has led her to severe frustration. She says she grew up without a father and doesn't want the same thing for her daughter. So, can the DNA test results resolve this issue?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Stone, you are the father. You are her father.
How you feel now?
Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't expect that one.
You truly believed you were not her biological father?
Yes, Your Honor. I truly believe that.
Alicia has brought David to court demanding money for childcare expenses because she says she has 2 kids with him and he refuses to help out with them in any capacity. David says he's not going to help out with childcare expenses for a child that may or may not be his. So what now?
If you say $100 over 2 years helping, then, I mean, if that's in his eyes, yeah.
$100 over 2 years?
No, he hasn't really helped at all.
You haven't been helping at all, Mr. Vess?
No, because how can I take care of somebody's daughter that may or may not be mine?
Because you don't want to take care of our daughter. We still have a 3-year-old son that you haven't helped for either.
Alicia says that's not the whole problem. She has an older kid with David, and he has not provided any childcare expenses for him either, even though there are no paternity doubts there. David says he used to provide money for him, but has recently had too many expenses. That's when he gets really angry in court.
100 for Kinsley. I've spent a heck of a lot more on Cameron than that. No, you haven't. Actually, you have no say in this. You don't know me and you barely know her.
Oh, he barely knows me. I dated him for 1.5 years in middle school, and I'm sorry, when you walked
he
in my
doesn't know
door,
me.
when
He
you
has
walked
no
in
right
my
to say
door
anything.
2 months ago, and our 3-year-old son looks up at you and says, "Who are you?"
So why did he lose his temper? When Alicia's current boyfriend steps in to talk, David cuts him off angrily, telling him he should stay out of this because he doesn't know her at all. Meanwhile, he hasn't provided for his child for 2 years, and Judge Lauren goes absolutely crazy thinking of the child who's never even seen her dad.
How many times have you witnessed Mr. Vess financially support his children?
One time since I've been in their lives for the last 7 months, and that was $20 for pull-ups and diapers.
So you've developed a bond with the children.
Yes, I have.
And Kinsley's 2?
Yes.
That's about the time they start saying dad, dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alicia says they began dating several years ago and were in an active relationship. He even signed birth certificates for both children. However, he started getting jealous of her friendship with a man she's known for many years, and then suggested something completely outrageous to break the connection. You'll have trouble believing your ears when you hear it.
We got in a relationship in 2012. We got pregnant with our firstborn in November. We had him in August of 2013. I don't know if you older people do it, but us young people, we go at it like rabbits.
So you older people.
Obviously, he wanted...
Jerome, is that us?
That's anybody older than
Not me.
She says David said the only way to break her emotional connection with her friend was to go have sex with him. Alicia says several eyewitnesses heard him say it. Judge Lauren goes crazy when she hears this because how can any sensible person suggest this? David denies even saying any of that.
Who gave you this advice, Mr. Vess? Where'd you come up with this?
No, I never said that. That never came out of my mouth.
Yo, yes it did.
So listen, August sex with Mr. Vess.
Yes.
Then he tells you to sleep with the other friend.
I did not have sex with this other man until August 29th, and our conception date was August 11th to the 13th, in between them days.
Alicia says she stopped to buy condoms before she had sex with the other guy, which is why she's sure the baby isn't his. She says David was texting her throughout and asking her when she's going to be home. David says they had an argument and he told her she would be with someone else if she wants to be.
We were arguing about something, I don't know exactly what. I got mad, and I told her that she should go and, be with somebody else if she wanted to be. I guess she took me serious.
When did you find out about him?
After we broke up.
He knew that same night. I was at the lake. He was texting me the whole time, "Baby, when are you coming home? What time are you gonna be here?"
Alicia says even if there was paternity doubt regarding their younger child, why was he not involved in the life of their older kid? She says he doesn't even recognize David as his dad, and it breaks her heart. David says that's because she makes her kids call all her boyfriends dad. So, can this tragic saga have a happy ending?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Vess, you are the father.
I see.
This situation's got to change. You guys gonna have to figure out how to end this war because Kinsley's losing.
Miss Davis brings Mr. Means to court because she believes he is her child's father, but he refuses to accept the child. She says her grandmother had to step in and take care of the child because he refused to do his part. However, Mr. Means drops a bombshell when he explains his reasons for not accepting the child.
You say you and your grandmother are in desperate need of assistance in raising your 1-month-old son, Josiah, and you need the defendant, Mr. Means, to accept his responsibility. You both believe the only reason Mr. Means is denying your child is because of his fiancée. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Apparently, Miss Davis has been sleeping with multiple men during the window of conception, and Mr. Means knew that. He says she's trying to pin the baby on him because she knows he's a good man who will step up to the responsibility. He also says she's jealous of his fiancé. So, who's telling the truth?
Ms. Davis, tell me why it's so difficult for you raising your baby.
I am 19 years old. He is 10 years older than me. I did not make this baby on my own, and I shouldn't have to take care of him on my own. My grandmother should not have to pick up the slack and handle his side of the work. He needs to help out.
Ms. Davis says she had sex with Mr. Means multiple times during the window of conception at their grandmother's house. When Judge Lauren asks her to elaborate, she says he was only having sex with her, not her grandmother. Judge Lauren goes absolutely crazy at that and says Miss Davis needs to get her mind out of the gutter.
He was eating there, sleeping there.
He
Yes.
was living with you?
Basically.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your grandmother?
Yes.
My
No,
house.
not sleeping with her. Not sleeping with her, but she was in the house. Her room is right next to mine.
I did not mean that. I meant was he
Oh.
living with you and your grandmother?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Get your minds out the gutter.
Her grandmother says she believed it was better for Miss Davis to have sex while staying at her house than to be on the streets doing it. Miss David produces a calendar showing the exact dates when she was involved with Mr. Means, and the time includes the window of conception. However, she delivers another shocker after this revelation.
I had sex with Mr. Means in August, September, October. This is the month that I conceived, in October. My son was born 6/21/2016, and that means it leads back to October, the month that I conceived. And during that month, I was only with Mr. Means.
Turns out Miss Davis broke things off with Mr. Means and immediately got together with her ex-boyfriend. She says they were not involved during the window of conception, and she was already pregnant when they got back together. Mr. Means says that isn't true, and he knows she was going back and forth between the two men.
I did get back with my boyfriend. He accepted the fact that it was possible that I had another baby with someone else.
Mr. Means, would you like to challenge something on the board?
That's a no, that's a no, that's a no, that's a no.
Okay.
Come on now, baby girl. You talking about 2 men, you got 3, 4 other people you need to
No,
bring
that
up
is
in
not
here.
true.
Don't try to
That
play
is
me
not
like
true.
that.
While Mr. Means keeps denying that he ever believed he was the baby's father, Miss Davis produces another exhibit that topples his argument. She shows Judge Lauren text messages that show him calling himself a bad baby daddy and apologizing for not being there for the birth. He also tells her he loves her in those messages.
What's up, baby mama? You don't love me no more or something? Of course I do, Miss Davis says. Why you say that? Then Mr. Means says, I don't know. I just don't feel loved by you anymore. And then you say, you know I love you. Miss Davis says, I'm in the hospital having contractions and I'm already 2 centimeters dilated. You about to have that baby, Monty. I'm hurt now.
Mr. Means' fiance takes the stand and begins an argument with Miss Davis, which pisses Judge Lauren off. Miss Davis says she knows what it's like to not have a father, and she doesn't want the same thing for her kid, which is why she's here. So, do you think this teenager can get her child the father he needs?
Mr. Means, you are the father.
Kick ass now.
I can tell by your reaction that was not the news you wanted to hear.
It is what it is. I just want to see my son.
Have you ever seen him?
Never seen him, never held him, never been around him, don't even really know his name, don't even know nothing about him.
Maria and Joseph come to the court because paternity doubts surrounding their son have ruined their personal lives. She says she is sure the baby is Joseph's, but he has too many doubts for them to go away without some sort of proof because he feels those doubts every time he looks at the child.
Ms. Whittier, you say that you are sure Mr. Reed is the father of your 22-month-old son, Lucas, but the defendant's paternity doubts have led to constant fighting and tension in your relationship. You desperately hope to prove he is the father to save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
How the duo met is something out of a rom-com dream. Joseph saw Maria's child apparently drowning in a pool and decided to rescue him. Turns out he could swim, but that's when he and Maria started really getting to know each other. Soon they fell in love. Now that's a real tearjerker of a love story.
Shortly before Lucas's birth, we had an argument. That argument led to the ultimate gonna shut him up kind of moment. So I said, well, how do you know if it's even yours?
You say that in the argument.
Yes. I never doubted it was his, but I just kind of wanted to end the argument and let it be done. And I've regretted that statement ever since I made it.
So, how did the doubts begin in this fairy tale romance? Maria says Joseph's ex came back in the picture and started making him doubt everything. She was the first person who asked him if he was sure the baby was his. Since he had known her longer, he believed her. But afterwards, something else happened that changed everything.
Did you have any doubt during that time that the child was yours?
No, not at the time of the pregnancy. I didn't know.
When did the plot twist come?
With his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
The conflict started between me and her. Well, then she starts whispering in his ear, oh, well, what if it's not yours? There was some arguments.
Apparently, Marie's ex sent her a vulgar video on her phone that showed him having sex with someone. Since the faces were obscured, Joseph thought it was a video of Marie and her ex. No matter what she said, he didn't believe her and soon after moved back in with his ex. But then, the story had another twist.
Why do they keep trying to skip over the part I'm asking about? Now I know why, because this is where it got messy.
I really don't know.
So wait a minute. So you're pregnant now. Your ex sends you a picture, a text.
It was a video.
A video?
Yeah.
I couldn't, oh man.
Maria says things got worse from there, but then she got very sick. The doctors found a blood clot that they said put her life at risk. They put her on blood thinners, but warned her that she or the baby might not make it out of this alive. She called Joseph, who came running, and they got back together.
They said the blood thinners carry a massive risk of neither one of you making it through. And I called him and I said, you need to come home.
I'd never been so scared in my life.
And I told him that I didn't know if Lucas was gonna make it. I didn't know if I was gonna make it.
And so when you got that call, Mr. Reed, what did you do?
All I could do not to cry too, but I knew as a man that I needed to be strong.
However, the ex came back into the picture again and started causing problems. Joseph still appeared at the birth and cut the umbilical cord and assisted the birth. Maria says Joseph cried more than her when the baby was born. So, can the DNA test reunite this beautiful family?
Mr. Reed, you are the father. I can see how relieved you are.
I'm shaking. I'm shaking, man. This is the happiest day of my life. Aside from him being born, this is the happiest day of my life.